Sometimes you are asked a question that you just don't want to answer. Today, I want to show you how you can avoid a question that you just don't want to answer. The first thing is, don't say, I don't want to answer that. Because the moment you say, I don't want to answer that, or I would not like to answer that, the interviewer would insist that you should answer that, because it kind of gives them a sense that there is something there that they have to hold on to, or they have to get you to maybe expose. So the first thing you want to avoid is saying, I don't want to answer that. Now, the second thing is what you need to do, which is to reframe the question to what you want to answer. So essentially, you can take a question that somebody throws at you and say, hey, I can understand that you would want us to sit here and argue about APC and PDP, which is better. But I think we have a far more greater problem to discuss as a nation. If you look at, you draw their attention to something else. It could be the war, it could be hunger, it could be corruption, it could be much larger issues, at least in your own perspective, that you feel that you have much more to discuss because it's more pressing than what the interviewer is calling your attention to. Now, the third thing you can do is even what is even more interesting, and which is that you can use some boundaries to escape answering some questions. Now, what are some of those boundaries? It could be that I don't think I'm qualified to discuss that. It could be it's a marital issue and my spouse is not here, so I'm not comfortable discussing this in the absence of my spouse. Or it could be that this particular matter is already in court and I don't want to comment on it because that would not be right for me since it's still in court.
Answers. Are you there? You've heard these very heavy allegations being made by our two guests in the House. So before you even decide to answer and respond to what you just said, I want to ask you, during his appearance before the House of Representatives, Michael Ananugwa, the Deputy Controller of Corrections, responsible for the Medium Security Custodial Center at Kirikiri, referred to his suspension as a social media suspension. How transparent is the prison system when it comes to addressing and reporting issues like corruption, abuse, just like my two guests have said, or unequal treatment? Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you very much.
So first we'll talk about
yes, I heard it.
Go ahead.
Yes. Thank you very much. The issue of the officer in charge of the facility in Lagos that made that comment during the hearing. I want to excuse myself from making comments about that because it's already there are very substantial hearings by different bodies. The Honorable Minister has instituted investigation and the House is hearing the issue. So I'm not, of course, you know that I'm a retired officer, so I may not be able to speak to what to ascertain the veracity of his claim. Now, to the...
So the idea is you use a particular boundary that exists to escape from actually answering the question that you are asked. And sometimes these boundaries really means you shouldn't even be answering those questions. But we know that in many cases, they don't actually affect anything, but you are using them as an excuse to avoid answering the question. If you would like me to help you to develop your public speaking skills and build your self-confidence, I want you to visit the webpage on your screen or call the number on your screen so that I can personally help you.